what is that, technically challenged? Uh,
Oh, you're fine. Don't worry about it.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being so patient and waiting on me. I had Wi-Fi issues, but I'd like to welcome you all to another episode of Transformative Healing. I'm your host, Gina. I had Wi-Fi issues, but I'd like to welcome you all to another episode of Transformative Healing. I'm your host, Gina. I had Wi-Fi issues, but now I'm getting feedback. Another episode of Transformative Healing. I'm your host, Gina. I had Wi-Fi issues, but now I'm getting feedback. Another episode of Transformative Healing.
You're having fun
I
over
don't
there.
know. Hold on. Okay, that's you. That's not me. I had to mute you for a minute. That's you. Yep. I muted you for just for a second. There's feedback coming from your side. For a minute, that's you.
Okay,
Yep.
let me leave it.
I muted you for just for a second. Okay. There's feedback coming from your side. He'll be right back. So I do apologize. Went in, came back out, and my Wi-Fi had decided that my computer needed to be restarted. So I apologize, but I'm here now. Welcome, everyone. We'll just give Jermaine just a couple more minutes to get back. As you heard, there was feedback. We didn't hear it when we were backstage, but unfortunately, we heard it when we went live. And so I'll just get him back here in just a second. Good evening, Scott, Michael.
All good. That was my fault. Sorry.
All right.
I had it open on YouTube too. I'm like, what's going on? I've never heard that before.
I was like, oh, that's weird. All right.
Yeah.
So thanks everyone for being here. If this is your first time and you don't know me, my name is Gina. I'm a certified neurotransformative specialist. That's just a big, long, fancy word for somebody that is intrigued with the mind, neuroplasticity. I'm a mental health professional. And so week after week, we have guests on here, whether it's just myself solo or we have guests on here like we have. Do you go by Jermaine, Maine? What would you like me to call you?
Jermaine's good. Jermaine, Maine, whatever they like.
Okay. So just like we have Jermaine here this evening. And so I love having guests. And what I love is I absolutely love and no, not, I don't know the word sexist. I don't even know. But anyway, I love having men on here, like only because like I love females too. But I love having men because a lot of men don't talk about mental health issues. Because it's usually swept under the rug and, you know, the way that they were brought up and things like that. And so I was very honored when you said that you would, you know, be on here and kind of share some things with us. And I really love the benefits of nature, ecotherapy, being out in nature, whether it's, you know, hunting, fishing, hiking, walking, whatever we're doing. And so week after week, if you're new, week after week, we come and we share truth. I bring neuroscience, neurobiology, life experience. I bring truth. A lot of people don't understand that when you go through a traumatic event, life-changing event, a lot of people tell you can't heal. They kind of get you in this ruminating thinking, this negative thinking over I'll never heal, when in fact you can. I'm living proof that if you put the work into it, there are things that you can overcome. And so we bring empowerment, we bring inspiration, we bring life experiences. So the tools and resources that you learn on here is things that you can take home, take with you, and you can use day after day to help you on your own healing journey. And so tonight, I am honored to have Jermaine. Like I said, we're going to be talking about fishing, nature, and things like that. And I'll share some of my blooper stories and things like that when it comes to fishing. I'm not a pro. Maybe one day.
We all got to learn as we go.
Yep. And stuff like that. So I'm just going to kind of open the floor. You know, tell us a little bit about yourself. I would just say it this way. I like to keep it GPG. Only because there is not that I think that you would share anything like really, really bad. But I have to tell my guests that because unfortunately I interviewed a gentleman and he did not keep it in the PGG form. And there is a real thing called secondary trauma. So I try to keep it so, you know, people in the chat and watching are not re-traumatized. So sometimes I forget what I'm saying too. And I'm like, oh, whoops, I probably shouldn't have said that either. But
Yeah.
All right. It's all about doing the lives, and they're unedited, unscripted. And that's absolutely what I love. You get to see our authenticity, and that's what I love.
Mhm.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm Jermaine. Came up mostly in New York. Um, my dad raised me mostly. That's how I got into fishing. Um, had some, I won't bring things up, had some issues with mom growing up. Um, then, like I said, my dad got me into fishing, lived with my dad mostly. And then, yeah, I did the adulting thing, got too cool for fishing, stopped for like 15 years, dang near. And then good old
Wow.
C word happened, COVID. And then was actually getting depressed, sitting inside playing too much Call of Duty and not going outside. And I got to about June and I was like, I remember I just literally just like, I was like, I don't know where I'm going, but I'm getting in my car and I'm going outside. And I started driving up the parkway and I got up to the state park and I saw a lake and I was like, wow, they can't tell me that I can't fish. Like I can't not, so that's kind of how it happened. And honestly, it was the best thing I ever did, getting back into it. There's only two things that turn I joke with my girl and say, there's two things that turn my mind off. That's basketball and fishing. Basketball's starting to hurt because I'm getting too old, so I got to start doing that a little bit less. And so obviously I just lean a lot on fishing right now, and it's kind of my turn it off button and just relax and me time. It's great. Helps me out a lot.
It is good. So tell me a little bit what fishing does for you. How does fishing, with your mental state, how does fishing help you?
Um, One thing, it's like the only time that I'm really I'm in sales, my job too. So I'm always talking. I'm always thinking about the next deal. I'm always going, going, going. So that gives me the time to get my mind in order, get my thoughts out to myself. Even I'm always going, 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 going. Couple friend groups, group chats and things like that. Now with social media, I feel like life is just always just sometimes you need that time to just like think and be by yourself and talk to yourself and it's a big thing that I think that a lot of people need to do more of and be better with it is be right with yourself. Be able to sit in silence, be able to sit in yourself, sit by yourself, compose your thoughts. Obviously, we all have our ups and downs. That's why we're here. I do have my downs. I cry. I'm okay with saying it. I have my downs. I cry. But you need to deal with that and just be with yourself and say, it's okay. I'm working on it. I'm growing. I'm getting better. And that's just what it's about. And that's what fishing truly does for me. I've sit on my kayak and I've cried my ass off. Excuse me for that.
No, you're fine. Nope,
And
you're fine.
I always come out of it smiling. And then you're like, dang, I needed that. I need to deal with that. I need to think about that stuff sometimes. Not sitting saying harp on things, but sometimes you just need to like get that out with yourself. So, fishing is big on that. Most of the time I do go fishing alone. I do love going fishing with my friends and stuff like that, but most of the time I go alone. So like I said, it gives me a lot of time to just sit down and, just breathe and just, like I said, turn it off and just get my mind together. I think that's like the biggest thing that I get from fishing. It's just like I get that just turn off and like I can think.
I like that. I like that. Um, and I do because I like that you said, that you were very transparent when you said like crying, because a lot of men don't cry either. So um, I'm glad that you said that, and that you were able to share that with us, because so many people, especially men, don't. They hold their emotions in and things like that. And so being out on the water, whether it's out on the water, whether it's fishing or anything like that, a lot of people don't realize just the benefits, whether you're outside, whether you're, outside or fishing, or outside on the boat, outside, wherever, kayaking, wherever you are, the mental health benefits that it has. And a lot of people don't realize that nature is very healing. There's a lot of healing principles, a lot of healing properties within it. And just being able to sit. And like you said, it's very uncomfortable to sit in the quiet, in the stillness. It's very hard. There's times I have cognitive distortions. And so I'm learning to sit in the stillness. I'm very transparent on here. And so sitting in the quiet for me is very difficult. Now, that's when I'm like in here. Now, if I go outside, I'm a nature freak. It can be 130 degrees and I'd be sitting outside because I love nature. I love it. So I absolutely love it. I'm like you go outside and you just feel that it's different. Kind of like an indescribable feeling, but it's so different just being out there. You're out there, you can, and this is what a lot of people don't understand. But with fishing, for people that have maybe childhood trauma, mental health, whatever, it's actually a 3-part called the trauma-informed movement. So it's actually working not only your breathing, but you're probably working your feet and your hands while you're breathing. And then when you go to catch a fish, what happens? Your adrenaline pushes. So then you start breathing even more. So now you're working your lungs. Now you're working your brain. And so it has a lot of benefits coming from, you have the fishing side of it. I have the mental health side of why fishing is such a good sport when it comes to that. And then what it does is it's mindful. You're using mindfulness. Mindfulness is using this. I think this is part of my issue when it comes to fishing. I've done a video, and my video was my emotions. Like I had no emotions. Like I could cry, but like my son broke my heart, I'd cry. But like I'm just hardcore. Like you couldn't get me to crack. Mm-hmm. And so now I got to figure out where I was going with this. I'm like, yeah, where the hell was I going with this now? Oh, sorry. Yeah. See, that's what happens. So I started doing this art, and what I found out is that we have neurons in our fingers. And those neurons are actually attached to our brain. So when I'm doing the drawing, it's tapping into my subconscious, and I'm using the neurons in my fingers. Well, probably because my brain wasn't really functioning properly, that when I would throw the rod in, and like I said, like this whole season, we went fishing, not a whole lot, but I didn't catch a fish at all. And so you have to be mindful, because you have to feel when either feel your rod or you have to watch your rod. Well, I got ADD. I'm too busy looking at everything else under the sun than looking at my rod when it comes to fishing. And so being able to feel when that fish gets on there so you can set the hook. So you're being mindful. Then you're being mindful because you're listening to the birds and whatever else is around, maybe the fish flopping out and whatever else. So a lot of people, I just want to throw that in there because a lot of people may not understand that fishing does have good mental health qualities or principles or whatever, healing strategies, I guess, to it as well.
I have ADHD too. And it's interesting too. It's one of the few things that I can truly focus on and not get distracted. It's like,
is it? Yep.
Like I said, basketball and fishing. It's like a light switch. It's actually kind of, I stop when I'm done with it. I come out of it and I'm like, wow, it's like almost like freaky. It's literally like you just hit a switch and everything. Like I catch my first rebound and start dribbling up the court, and it's like I just see the lines and I'm like, okay, playing ball. And then the same thing, I make my first cast. I do the same thing. I get on my kayak. I thank the powers that be for bringing me back to my happy place. And then I make my first cast, and it's like a light switch goes off, and I'm just like, okay, and I'm just in it, and it's great.
I love that. Kind of like that. Oh, feeling.
Yeah, it's great.
I got to spit out my gum. Sorry, hold on.
Oh, you're all right.
Otherwise, I'll be chomping on screen and then people, they'll make comments to me, Jeannie, you're chopping your gum too much. I'm like, yeah, I know. Yeah. So let me. I'm trying to think like fishing, because I think most everybody in the chat usually I get a couple females in there, but most of the time it's all men. They're all fishing fanatics. Sly will be here in a little while, but my son is actually at basketball. So it's funny that you say that, because he's at basketball and stuff. Right. That's some of the things that he does for his self-care and stuff like that too. And everything. So what do you do? Because obviously you can't, you could fish in the winter if you wanted to do ice fishing, but what do you do in the winter? So when fishing is over, what do you do? What do you do to maintain your mental health?
It's tough. I'll be the first person to say seasonal depression is a real thing in the North. I get very moody. I joke with my girl. It's it's like I'm a 6-year-old kid and you just took away like one of my favorite toys or like my favorite video game for like 3-4 months, and I'm just moody. Um, but YouTube's helped a lot with that. I still get to talk to you guys. I continue my lives. That keeps my mind like right, I guess. I look forward to that. So I have to think of topics, things like that, figure out stuff to talk about, strategies, even when it's like off season. So that really helps me out a lot. I know everyone's not going to go become a YouTuber that lives up in the north, but um, I what I've been trying to do the last couple of years, what I try to do is I try to go to physical fitness. So it's like
Okay.
every year I kind of try to take the winter. I'm kind of like the opposite, like everyone's like, oh, summer, we got to start getting in shape and all that stuff. I'm like, now the opposite. I kind of just, because once fishing starts, like my free time is going to fishing.
Yep.
I'm on the kayak, I'm at the lake any chance I get, so it's like, oh, I can go jog around the lake for 3 miles, or I can go get on the lake for 2 hours. It's like, I'm going to go get on the lake. So that's what I've been trying to do lately. I'm picking up
Good.
my physical fitness back now. It's definitely harder to pick it back up once you stop. I'm feeling that big time, but I'm trying to stay consistent with that.
Good.
It's all about routine.
That's huge.
Yeah, I just got to get my routine back.
Yep. Well, and that's exactly what it is. And I think that's what a lot of people, they go from, when do you start fishing? Probably what, March?
Yeah.
And then you stop probably the end of October or maybe in November if it's more, because I know here, well, I guess in November, I was going to say, I think in November here in Ohio, it was kind of warm.
Yeah, I mean, like this year was a little freaky, and then it was like a light switch, and now it's cold and we're getting ice. But like 2 weeks,
Yep.
I don't know. Let me see. My last fish, I don't even know where that video went, but I think it was like a couple weekends. It was like 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago on a Sunday.
Okay.
I want to say it was, when was the wedding? It was a week before Thanksgiving. So November 17th was my last fish this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
November 17th was my last fish.
Yeah. So when you're used to getting out, even if it's chilly, you're used to getting out, from March, just say October. This year, I know it was weird, but it was March to November.
Yeah.
And that's what people understand, when you're used to getting out and you're used to doing the things that you absolutely love. And then all of a sudden, boom, it's like the rug was pulled from under, is underneath, people and from something that you enjoy. And it's like, what do you do next?
Yeah.
And I agree. As I started looking at things, I'm like, I think it's called SAD, seasonal affective disorder, which is seasonal depression. I'm like, it's always like, I started realizing this. I'm like, maybe that's what I have. I don't even know. Like, I'm beginning to wonder because, think about it. But a lot of people, what they do is they don't have a second plan. And so they don't go and they're like, oh, well, I'll just be okay. And then all of a sudden, but what they don't understand is if you can get out and do something, even if you don't go and you don't go work out, like I tell people all the time, self-care is huge. Go and grab your coffee and people watch. I mean, what's your coffee going to cost you? A couple bucks?
Walk.
Yeah,
that's people watch. Honestly, I'm a little bit of a weirdo, but like just go walk through town and people watch. You look down at your watch and then your watch is like, oh, you just did 2 miles.
Yep.
And like you got your heart rate up a little bit. You feel the air on your skin. It might be a little cold. Wear a jacket.
Yep. Oh yeah.
My first 5-mile walk this year it was still snowing when I started. But I told myself I was going to do it that day. And I was like, I kept making excuses. Oh, it's snowing. Oh, it says it's going to stop snowing in an hour. I'll wait. Blah, blah. And I was like, you know what? Just put your hood on. Just go. And once you get out there and you start moving and you're out there and you got your music on, you're doing your little head bop. You're like, all right, I'm fine. I'm all right. I got home and I was like, oh, okay, my cheeks are a little cold, but you warm up in 10 minutes. You're fine.
You do.
Yep. And then you're bragging to your friends like, yo, I just walked 5 miles. Holy crap. It only took me about an hour.
Yep. Oh, yeah. I'm always saying I have a heated jacket. The battery went out in it, and I ended up getting another one. I absolutely loved it because that's what I would do. I'd throw on my heated jacket, my hat and gloves, and I'd be out the door.
Oh yeah, they're great.
Yep. So I keep saying, man, I got to get out there. I got to, my son, he's always like, Mom, we need to like run. I'm like, dude, I can run from here to the mailbox.
Running hurts. You know?
I will walk, but I am not running.
I said power walking's great. You know,
Yeah,
that's so funny. When I was younger, I used to be that guy. Like these ladies would power walk through the neighborhood, and I'd be like, "What are they doing?" Now I got bad knees.
Yep.
Hurts. Like everything hurts. Like if I go jump up and down, it's like I wake up the next morning. I'm like, oh my god, how did I do that? So now I can walk 4 or 5 days in a row with no problem. You know,
Good for you.
I could probably walk 20 miles a week.
Oh, wow.
I could run 20 miles a week. I could. No way. No way. No way. I could walk 20
Right.
miles a week. Easy. Not easy, but I would be a little sore, but I'd be like, all right, I could do this. Running,
Right.
no way. No chance. I don't even know if I could run 5 miles. Like if I tried to run a mile a day for 5 days a week, I'd probably tap out after like day or 2 or 3 and be like, my knee hurts too much.
Mhm. Oh, yeah. Yeah. He's like, oh, and I said, oh, no, I will walk with you, but you can run and I will catch up to you.
Yeah.
Or you can go around the block and then I'll meet you back. But other than that, no. Walking is very good.
Down a few pounds, I can start like, because even like I said, even with the basketball, it's hard for me. I think I need to get down like 20 before I start running up and down the court again. It's tough.
It's tough. It's tough. And so it's like, but staying active, excuse me, staying active when you're not able to fish is really important for everybody's mental health, or if you're not fishing, whatever you're doing and things like that too, and stuff. And so do you hunt at all? Oh, wait, I don't even know. Can you even hunt where you are? Where'd you say you are? New Jersey?
I'm in New Jersey. So like directly where I'm at, no way. No way.
Okay.
So it's honest. It's kind of crazy. I almost hit a deer tonight. I know Sly just hit when I saw that.
Poor guy.
Are so smart where I'm at. I've watched deer on one of my walks. I stopped and was like, this deer is looking both ways. It's really looking, and I watched Mama Deer. She went like this. She waited, and then there was no cars coming, and she crossed the street, and I was like, yo,
Wow.
These are domesticated deer because you can't hunt out there.
Okay, yep.
No, the only danger to deer is cars. It's honestly getting to a point where it's like it's a problem because people just hit deers all the time because like upstate, my buddy's from Syracuse. He's like, if I get anywhere near a deer, they run. Anywhere near a deer, they run away.
Oh,
they see you and they like just take off. They're like, oh, you try to get close, like I don't know if you watch Justin Royal, but like I can feed deer if I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
If I really wanted to. Like they're in people's backyards. I've walked past I sent a video to my boy the other day because he just killed his first 2 deer this year. And I went out to my car and I'm like getting in my car and I hear like, shh, shh, shh. And I'm like, yo, that sounds pretty big. What the? Oh, 15 yards on the other side of a fence, a buck.
Oh, wow.
7-pointer. I took my phone up, walked over to him. He just looked at me. Went back down, ate a little bit, looked at me again. I like, yo, 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 yo. And he just looked at me. I'm like, dang, dude, like you're just not fazed at all. They're just not afraid of people here.
Wow.
Yep.
Dang. Yeah.
It's so different. Like if you probably did that around you, he'd probably take off.
Oh yeah. Oh, they definitely would. Yep. We get them in our backyard and yeah, same thing. You go out there and they're jetting through the yard. Boop, see you later.
Yeah. No. Here they look at you and they just continue to eat.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, that is nuts.
They scare my girlfriend because we'll be on walks and she'll be like, they're just looking. Is she gonna run at us? The mom deer with the baby. And I'm like, don't worry, they're not gonna do anything.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, see? Maybe I can make it. Yeah, well, I don't know. After he hit the deer, when was that? Friday? No, Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. And I was like, thank God I wasn't with you. I would have had a heart attack.
Yeah.
That
Was
sucker
it
would
like a
have,
jump out, or was it like those are the worst? Like
yeah.
if it's like they're in the road and they like do the like squirmy dance, you're kind of like, oh man, and you know it's coming. But when you're just driving and they just
Yep.
that I feel like I would like that almost happened to me tonight. I'm just driving,
Oh,
it's
did it?
dark,
Oh, yeah.
and I just saw the
Oh,
silhouette. I'm like, here it comes, and I just
yep,
jumped on the brakes. I'm like, please don't do it, please don't. I was just
yep,
waiting for the doof. Oh
yep,
man,
yep.
it's crazy.
And I think that's what happened. He was driving. He said he was driving and he was looking to the left instead of the. So he was driving. And he was only doing 35, but he was looking to the left because there was a bunch of deer on the refuge. And all of a sudden it was like clunk. I mean, like it was probably a big whack. Um, and he's like, it scared the living daylights out of me. I was like, what the heck? He said, I got out, and he's like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. So not the whole passenger side, but I mean, I'm sure you've seen the pictures of what he posted, but like his door is all messed up.
Mm.
The other back doors probably messed up a little bit, but messed up his hood, his headlight, his fender. I don't know much about cars,
You
fender
kill it?
grill. I mean, the whole passenger side is boop. I'm like, oh,
Did he kill the deer?
oh yeah, it's sitting in my freezer.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, yeah. I told him it. I was so sad. I went out there and I was like, "Oh, you killed Bambi's dad." I'm like, "You are so mean." But then I started petting it. I was petting it on the head, and I'm like, "Oh, you poor dear. I'm sorry. This is how you had to die."
Yeah, but hey, look, I mean, look, you're doing
So,
it right if you eat them, right?
yeah, yeah. No. Charles will eat them, but not like I tried one tonight. It wasn't too bad, but I don't know. I can't get past the mental picture of what I'm eating because I wasn't brought up on that type of stuff. I think it would be different if you were brought up on it. But anyway, it's just kind of like, yeah, I don't know. But I did like I wanted, I don't even know how big it was, but I wanted to take his hide and have it turned into like a carpet, not a carpet,
Okay,
but like a rug. And but I couldn't get a hold of the guy, the taxidermist.
okay.
Couldn't get a hold of him. He was closed. And so he's telling you everything that's wrong with it. So I couldn't get a hold of him. So I was like, well, maybe you'll kill another one next time. And I'll be able to have the money, because after our deductible, it's probably going to cost a pretty penny to have the sucker fixed.
Jeez. Yeah, you
So
got the
yeah.
the whole passenger side, it looks like. Grill, hood, bumper, front fender, both passenger doors, rocker
Yep.
panel.
So
Dang,
I
man.
was like, yep. So I was like, yeah, that was. So when he called me, it was funny. He's like, oh, you need to look at the pictures. And I said, let me guess, you hit a deer. He's like, yeah. I said, well, you were supposed to shoot it, not hit it.
Yeah.
So, but that's what he does for his self-care and be trying fishing and hunting and all of that. So, which is nice too. And but yeah, I wasn't sure if you could go hunting where you were, if it was just too many.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was tenderized for me. You're exactly right, Scott. If it was what do I want to say? Like I don't want to say city, but like I guess city suburban, maybe. I
yeah.
didn't know if they had it, but if you had places that you could actually go and
Yeah, we got
actually
some
things like
designated
that.
areas you can. I don't think they're too good. But yeah, there's some designated areas you can hunt around here.
Yeah, well,
But
they probably don't.
yeah, exactly, exactly. I wouldn't be surprised at all. And then
Yeah.
upstate is fun. I guess people hunt up there. Oh, I know people hunt up there. And then I think are you guys in Ohio?
Yes, yes.
That's where I know the good deer hunting's there because that's where my boy goes. He goes to Ohio to go hunt. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh
I
wow.
think it's on the border of like Ohio and West Virginia, I think. I'm directionally challenged, so wherever. I think on the border there is really good. There's a lot of big deer in that area and stuff too. And so we don't know a whole lot of what stinks for us is, we live in a town that's I don't even know how many people are here, like maybe 3,000 people. We live in a very rural town. And so people, they don't know you. They won't allow you to fish on, or not fish, geez, listen to me, hunt on their property. So literally you have to drive like an hour and a half to get to public land from where we live, which sucks.
Hmm. Okay.
And so it's kind of the same thing, like, not flipping it, but going back to fishing because, Sly and I have talked about this and I'm like, it would be pretty cool to get some type of thing going to where, I mean, I'm not ready to be in a kayak right now, but it would be nice to have more female things to do. And I said, but then you could always do like some type of a tournament around here and things like that. Well, then it sucks because it's like, we don't have places like what a lot of these other states have. We have a big lake, but there's not bass in there. I mean, I'm sure there's bass in there, but not like what in some of the other areas and things like that. And so it just kind of sucks. Like we're very limited in our area. But I was like, oh, it'd be pretty cool. And another thing I thought would be pretty cool is getting a bunch of people together and going out and doing like a charter boat.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, oh, that would be something pretty cool. Well, you won't see me on that. You guys can all go and I'll wave to you from the shore.
You're not an on the water lady?
I have really bad motion sickness.
Okay.
It's the weirdest thing. Like I was never this way. And moving clothes, this is fun. It's funny, but it's not funny. If I move clothes on a clothes rack, if I'm shopping or if I'm hanging clothes in my closet and I'm moving and I'm just moving my clothes on the hangers, I get dizzy.
Okay.
I'm like, that is like some crazy crap. And so I'll be shopping and all of a sudden I'm moving the hangers and I'm like, well, wait a minute. Like I literally have to ground myself.
Yeah.
My daughter and I flew, I'm from Massachusetts. So we flew back. I call it home, but I flew back there in August and I had to keep my eyes closed the entire plane ride.
Okay.
Because the motion sickness was so bad. I was like, oh man. So Scott's got a question for you. Jermaine, what are some other ways you deal with your ADHD?
Oof. I don't know.
Maybe, do you drink Monster drinks? Coffee?
No, I try not to drink energy drinks because they're
okay. Yeah, because I was going to say, those energy drinks are really.
So I think I might have been my girl, but I'm pretty sure I found out the small, I think it's the 8-ounce Red Bull. It takes a gallon of water to rinse that out of your body.
Holy moly.
So what happens to everything else you put in your body that day? And I don't drink a gallon of water. I'll be the first person to say it. I don't drink a gallon. You're supposed to drink like a gallon a day. I think
right.
I'm terrible with drinking water. I probably drink a gallon every 3 days.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, I was like, okay, so I'm hurting my body by drinking Red Bull to give me energy.
Yep.
Like, no, I'm just done. So like, I'll drink a Celsius here and there. They're a little bit better, but I try to stay away from those energy.
Good for you. Yeah. They're not really, well, they're not good for you anyway, but I understand why people take them. They just don't understand.
I'm not like against them. I will. Like when I'm tired.
Yeah.
You gotta go to work, You
have to.
Meal prepping or doing laundry or adulting in some form or fashion, or just sitting on YouTube and being a jackass. I wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh man, why did I do that? All right, well, it's either, a triple espresso from Starbucks or maybe a Celsius or something like that.
Ooh, yes. Yep. So do you notice the difference now that Scott brought this up, but do you notice a difference when you drink espresso with your ADHD? Does it calm you down?
I used to say espresso was my on switch. I had to stop because I worked at a coffee spot and I would just so I think I would say, yeah, it does. It helps me focus.
Okay.
Yeah,
and it's normal.
Yeah. I would get to work and just pop a double espresso and everybody's like, oh, you're crazy. And I'm like, no, this actually helps me out a lot. And, but
Yep.
I never thought about it. I never thought about it like that. Maybe it's like the whole counterintuitive, like it's a stimulant for everybody else. But since I'm already so stimulated, it's kind of like a mellow.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. The only thing that you have to be careful of is the counteracting of if you have ADHD and you have ruminating thinking, like cognitive distortions or negative thinking, negative bias. You have to be very careful in drinking caffeine because yes, it will help your ADHD. It'll calm you down and keep you level. But what it does is it heightens you to what it does is it brings up more of the cognitive distortions, more of the anxiety.
Okay.
Because people can't distinguish I shouldn't say they can't. If you can't distinguish what anxiety is versus a caffeine buzz,
Yeah.
you shouldn't be drinking caffeine
Okay.
because the caffeine will enhance your anxiety. That's what people don't understand. They'll think, oh my goodness, it's my anxiety. No, it's your caffeine. You got a caffeine buzz and you're zinging. And they don't realize that. And so caffeine
That's
actually
very
is,
interesting. I'm going to bring that up to somebody I know. That's very
yeah,
interesting.
yep. And so I kind of did a like I was kind of like, oh, I only drink 1 cup of coffee. And then I use like the protein shake. I put a protein shake in it. So I get my like a protein coffee. And I don't have the hyperactivity, but the ADD. So I'm like all over. I'll be in here trying to focus on something. And all of a sudden I was like, oh, that's a good idea. I better stop and do this. So that's where my focus is. But I have to be careful. I can only have 1 coffee a day. If I have more than one, I know that it's like I'm zinging from the coffee, like I have this coffee high, and I'm just like I got the shakes from the coffee, but in my mind it's like, oh, you got anxiety, and then I'm fighting it, going, no, it's the coffee, and then I'm battling back and forth, and so I only have 1 cup, but it is interesting because a lot of people don't understand that it does help. It levels you out, but then you have to be careful if you have any type of cognitive distortions. And see, mine are different. My cognitive distortions are, I couldn't think of the name. I think I was speaking about this a couple weeks ago, but mine are actually, they're called imagery sensory. And so mine aren't thoughts, they're pictures. So mine are like mine play like a movie, a bad movie playing out.
Okay.
And so mine are like one of the worst catastrophizing cognitive distortion. And so I was able to overcome it. It was really, really hard. And so when they come into mind, I just have to counteract them. Well, why I'm telling you this is because I noticed caffeine makes it worse.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm very cautious with how much caffeine I drink. Normally I drink one cup of coffee and then the rest is water or juice or something like that, because I've learned, holy crap, it's the caffeine that's fueling a lot of the negative bias. So
Malone has a good.
So it's good. Got your sticky notes.
This is the book. I got the little booklet, and I got to. This is like my reminder from the week. Number 1 on there. It's just Live with Gina at 8.
Oh, I love it.
Preview of the channel.
Good. So you got so it looks like you got other things you're doing this week too. You're busy.
Trying. Well, just overall, just like I said, every time I sit down here, this gives me the oh yeah. So like I'll remember to shoot somebody a text or ask one of the guys if they want to pop on a live, because I I'm all over the place. So I'll same thing like you know, about one thing one point in time, and then I pick up my phone. Like I even told one of my guys, one of my group chats is on Instagram. I literally sent them a message. It's been like 3-4 years, and I was like, hey guys, can we make like a group chat off of Instagram? You know how many times I open up the app and I see a food recipe? I'm like, oh wow, that looks mad good. Like, oh, what's the recipe? Okay, let me send that to my girl to make it for later. Damn, his page is good. Wow, what's this too? I don't even get to the group chat. I'm like, that's the whole reason I opened the app. I didn't even mean to do that. I just opened it to go to that, and I see something, and then there's my guy. What's up, brother?
What's going on?
Doing all right?
Oh, doing good.
Hanging in there?
Oh, yeah. Sad about my truck, but, you know, it happens.
Yeah, it happens. How's little man's practice?
Oh, it wasn't too bad.
Nice.
Yeah. It's his first year, so he's like, oh, God, this, that. Like,
he's learning.
You got to learn. You've never done it before, so.
Yeah, that's it.
Chill out and learn.
And when I get out there, he'll get a session with Coach Maine.
He's a goober. He's a football fanatic, so he loves football.
Yeah. He's a natural at football.
All right,
so
there you go.
But basketball, not so much. I mean, he tries. I mean, he does good. Coaches, you know, like, hey, he's doing way better than I thought he would.
There you go. That's all that matters. He's trying.
Yeah.
That's it.
Just like they had a thing where they was doing a offensive drill, and all the boys on offense, they're supposed to rotate all around on the outside, then jump in the middle, then back out to the outside, stuff like that. And Nick was the only one that went everywhere. Everybody else would just move from here to there,
Okay.
And he'd be over there he'd be like, "You need to go. I'm in this spot now."
Dick Uber.
But he's done pretty good.
I gotta shut that heat off for me. I'm roasting in here. Oh, no, it's not off. Phew. Thank you. It's off. Thank you. Holy mackerel. I feel like yeah. So go ahead. Sorry. I just needed to shut the heat off. It was roasted in here. I'm like, holy mackerel.
Yeah, but he does pretty good, So I'm like, look, you don't have to worry about trying to make swishes or anything like that. I said, that little thing back here right behind the goal, hit the ball inside that box.
Yeah, hit the square.
It's going in. It's physics. It's going in.
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, the ball just has to touch it. That's going in no matter what, no matter the angle or anything.
Yeah. If you get the angle right and enough, yeah, that's right. That is very true.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's what I have to. I have a hard time teaching some of these kids. They watch too much of the NBA nowadays, and they want to just shoot from deep. I'm like, dude. And the age groups I'm working with right now primarily was 9 to 12. So they're physically not strong enough to shoot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But they go home and they watch Curry, they watch, Jordan Poole, they watch all these guys, and what do? These guys take one dribble across half court and throw it, and it goes in, and they go, I need to do that. So like after practice is me just telling them, guys, I love you guys. Just take a step in. Love you, take a step in. Love you, take a step in, please. Please.
I got to tell Nick, I said, watch some old videos of Dennis Rodman. I mean, that dude was the rebound king.
Yeah.
Just none any better than him at that.
Yep. He's my generation's Tristan Thompson.
Yeah.
People got to realize Tristan Thompson got paid $150 million, or I think $110 million for 4 years to get rebounds and pass the ball to LeBron.
Yeah.
Wow.
I got to tell you, that's a big risk.
Not required to score at all.
Mm-hmm.
I think he probably averaged like 10 or 11 points that season. Wow. But he got 15 or 16 rebounds almost every game, and a block or two. And he got paid $110 million, over $100 million.
I remember watching a Dennis Rodman interview where they were asking like, why are you so aggressive with rebounds? He said, because that's my thing. They were like, but some games you only score 6 points. He said, I don't care if I never score a point.
Yeah.
I want the rebound. I want to get my purpose in the game, no matter what. And they said, but you even get aggressive when they're shooting free throws, and it's your team shooting the free throws, and you're not going to get the ball. It gets automatically turned possession over, and you're still aggressive to get it. He said, well, that goes to my record, and I want the other teams to know that you're not going to beat me at rebounds. I'm going to destroy you.
Yeah, that's why he's pretty great. That's why he's one of the.
Oh yeah. All right, I'm gonna get out here and let you guys get back to it. I'm gonna go sit in the house.
Or you could have pulled up a chair.
Yeah.
Then you make me look like I'm this short in the chair.
Well, that's all right. I mean, I tell you could sit on my lap, but then you're bony. So then you'd hurt me. Go in the house, I guess.
Oh, by the way, the deer rammed into me. I didn't see it even coming.
Well, he just jumped.
He just
pulled right inside my truck.
Well, it doesn't help that he was looking the opposite
direction.
direction.
I mean, I wasn't looking. Here's the thing. It's a game refuge that it never gets hunted except for lottery draws that happen. And across the road is huntable ground. Well, right at just before dark and right at after dark, it might be one deer coming off the refuge going over to the huntable ground, or it might be 25 or 30 at one time.
Yeah, that's crazy. You don't get like packs like that, though.
Yeah.
Yep.
And, you just, every time I drive through there, I'm watching to my left side. I'm not paying attention to my right at all. Never have, just because there's so many deer that's coming off of there.
And they caught you.
it burnt me. You know, I figured it's going to be at least a minimum of $4,000 worth of damage.
Yeah,
So
that sucks.
it is what it is.
Part of
You
it.
know, that's why we have insurance.
That's it. That's exactly it. Call it in, dude.
Yeah, expensive deer though. Once I get the bill that I can figure out, well, about how many pounds of deer meat I got off the deer, how much it's going to cost per pound.
That's it. Yeah, that is true. Sell it to the boys.
Mhm.
Sell some to the boys.
So, but steak tasted pretty good tonight or this afternoon off of him. I can tell you that.
There you
A
go.
couple of them, they were real tasty.
Oh yeah.
So, but I got a bunch of probably 50 pounds to grind up in the sausage and stuff like that, hamburger, whatever. So she doesn't mind the sausage. So
That's nuts. That's a lot.
no,
That is a lot. That is.
Like, I'm thinking about it. Like I just bought chicken, and I just bought 2 pounds of chicken. That's and you already got 50 pounds. That's like holy smokes.
That's crazy.
Well, that's just for the grind. The back strap. I probably got about 10 pounds of back strap. The inner loin, which is the filet mignon, there's probably 2 to 2.5 pounds of that.
The good stuff.
So, no, all that inner loin on a deer. Oh. Cook that in some butter and salt and pepper. Oh my God, ain't nothing no better.
I gotta try it. I've never done it. Never had it. I think I had like deer heart one time. I don't know why I had heart, but somebody was like, "Here, try this," and then they were like, "Oh yeah, deer heart," and I was like, "Oh, that's why it's super chewy."
If you cook deer heart slow enough, it's actually pretty tender. I haven't tasted it. It's not bad, but to get
that was a long
all these strings and tendons in it, it takes a lot of work.
Yeah, I mean that's like it's. Sorry, y'all, but it's crazy for me that I can say this. That was like 20, 25 years ago.
You know what's
I know,
crazy?
isn't that crazy?
You know what's crazy for me? I can say I killed my first deer 40 years ago.
Before my time.
You're old.
So,
yeah.
I get to thinking about stuff like, oh, remember when I was back in school, and I'm like,
yeah,
man, that was 30-something years ago. Oh my God!
Especially when you bring up the '90s, and I'm like, yeah, the '90s were only like 10 years ago, and I was like,
30.
Oh yeah, they were 30 years ago. Holy crap, I really am old.
Yep.
Like
wow. That's what I'm getting now because I'm like I said something to one of my best friends, and I was like, yo, we've been friends for 20 years, damn near. He was like, yeah, we met in 6th grade, so we were 12.
Wow.
Yeah, so like we're turning 35. I'm like,
where'd the time go?
Yeah, so and it's like I remember doing a lot with him, but it's like just to think about that is like, dude, I met you when we were like, we didn't even like girls yet. Like we were still a little like ew. Like that's crazy.
I mean, you were little, Jermaine?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you ready for this? Is when I was in the 5s. I was in the 5s. I was like 5'9" when I met him. That's such a long time ago for me. That's so crazy. Like I vividly like I.
He was 12 years old and 5'9", and here I'm 48 years old and I'm 5'7".
Yeah. I was like, I think I was like, dude, I was 6 feet tall when I was like end of middle school.
Yep. See that? Yep. See that happened to my son, my oldest.
Middle, yeah, like because no, yeah, in 8th grade, the coach told me I don't have to try out. He was like, you don't have to try out. You're 6 feet tall. You're on the team. And then we moved to New Jersey. Yeah, and then I didn't play. But but yeah, yep. I was, probably since like 7th grade. I've been pretty tall. So
yeah, I knew you were tall. before I met you in person, but when I seen you in person, I went,
Big guy.
Funny as hell.
Reason.
That's funny. Yeah, it's funny because you're my best friend and I. We have been best friends longer than you've been alive.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, you're just a baby.
Yeah. No, I wish I was. I'm not.
Oh, my son's not that much. My oldest son's not that much younger than you.
How old is he?
So,
27.
is he? Yeah, 27, 28. I don't know,
He's
27.
27.
Yeah, you lose track after you have a few of them. Now,
Yeah.
I've had
He's
so,
a young buck, though. He's not really a buck, but he's
but
getting there.
yeah, he is. He is. I was gonna say when we were talking, it was funny talking about football and stuff too. We went to one of the games, and I thought this was pretty impressive. There was a kid that threw the football, and I don't know how far back you probably would have been, but I'm thinking like if we play like what do you play horse? I'm trying to think how the thing goes around when you shoot in the hoop. Like I'm a ding dong when it comes to that. But anyway, so he was sitting on the side of it. He wasn't like where you would when you play those games. Like what is that game?
Hangman.
Well, yeah, those games. But anyway, he was probably back to maybe the outer line, maybe a little bit further back, and he threw the football, and the football went right into the basketball hoop. I was like, the net. I was like, whoa, what the heck? I'm like, dude, I bet you couldn't do that again. I was like, man, I would have loved to have like videoed that because that was like, it was awesome. I was like, woo. I was like, man, oh man. It was pretty cool. I was like, man, there was something else I was going to say, and now I don't remember what I was going to say. No, I don't remember what I was going to say now. You guys were talking. It's all right. And now everybody's talking about age.
Yeah. Right.
I'm old.
We're all young. You're young at heart. You're never, you could feel as old as you are, but you can always just say, be young at heart.
Some days I feel 80 in my body.
I always say I always say I'm not going to be any older than 25.
My knee is like 65.
Yep. Oh, I know.
Yeah, I seen you limping around a little bit down there at the knucklehead. I know you were sore down at the knucklehead. You were sore down there.
Oh yeah. It's friend. You know what? When we were down there, that was more of the sleeping accommodations. We did not prepare right, and I love my boy Pat to death. He's a military man, and those military guys, they just lay down there anywhere. It don't matter where they are. So Pat had a cot like this. So that first night, I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll be fine. I'll sleep on the cot." Oh my God, I was tossing and turning all night. I didn't. I really slept, and then the adrenaline woke me up. So then, by the time end of night 2, I was like tired, and I went to Walmart and bought an air mattress.
Oh man,
that's that. I had an air mattress and I had a big old thick sleeping bag.
Yeah, it's honestly great. I still have it. I still use it, and it was cheap as hell because I bought it down in Alabama. Like, I think it honestly blows my mind. I got an air mattress for like $26, I think it was. If I bought that same thing up here in New York, it would be like $70. It's crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's just nuts. So tell us, what are your plans for 2025? What's coming up for you? What are you doing?
I got a few people I'm trying to get on live. I got one big name. I already got a yes. The only clue that I'll give you guys is that he's so big that I have to fit into his schedule. So, that's pretty cool.
The only Fisher people I know besides you guys is like Mike Aganelli. I don't know anybody else with big name. I don't know who else.
I should holler at Mike too because he's Southern New Jersey.
I know.
You need to get hooked up with him and his boy and go fishing.
Yeah, I know. His son fishes the tournament. I was going to join Slay Nation. You heard of Slay Nation?
Mm-hmm.
So Slay Nation, New Jersey, his son fishes the club that's around me.
Right.
But I don't. It's terrible to say it. I don't fish against him because I don't want to lose.
Oh,
Like,
Vegas is awesome. That kid is
yo,
just he's something else.
he's legit.
Who's that?
Once I
I
get my
can
side
understand.
scan
Okay.
rolling, like once I get my electronics rolling and I know water temperature depth and I can like read my side scan a little bit, I'm taking on the world. I'm taking
Yeah, I can't I can see them on down imaging. That side scan, I can't find a fish at all. I mean, I can just like what in the world? I played with the everything on it, you know, the contrast and everything changes colors of the screen, all this. Everybody, oh, it's the little shadow blips and this. I'm like,
Yeah. So I'm gonna make that my business is to get the electronics down. I would love to get a pedal drive. This is all job dependent too. Like obviously
Yes.
money. So I would love to get a pedal drive and like I don't think I'm gonna do that next year. That's a big step, but I really, really like my overall goal, which I think will actually get me to the next level in bass fishing. It's some people will be a little upset about it. It's not live scope, it's 360. That's my like biggest goal. That's what I want. Said this a couple other times. I think it's literally what in my opinion, I think 360 should be the ultimate goal because that gives you what every fisherman wants and what we've always done, whether you're fishing, ocean fishing, whatever. Every angler does this. What's right there? I wonder what's under the water right there. I wonder what's under the water, like whichever direction you. So why would you just not want a 360 bubble all the time?
yeah.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
To me, yeah, and that's why, and not even to say, hey, I want to get to a point where I want to see them. I just want to know. Like, Sly, you're in your kayak, you know. How often do you roll over something and go, damn it, I should have, if I would have seen this from
Yep.
to this damn thing. God damn. You come across, you're coming down the thing, and then you come and you see one branch, and then you see like the whole tree under, and you go, damn, God, I just came right over it. Now they done swam off. I just scared them all off. Now I gotta wait an hour for them to reset, and in that hour you go catch a fish somewhere else, and you never remember to come back. So that's why.
Yeah, especially when you get in clear water.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
my goodness. And that's me up north, dude. I get over it, and then once I see the first branch, I go, up, it's over. He saw me, and he just went, yup, two tail swishes, as my dad calls it, out to deep water. I ain't biting none. I've seen it. I've done
I
it.
cheat a little bit with my fish finder on my transducer. Like if I got an idea, like let me see what's ahead of me, I'll take mine and I'll tilt it.
Okay.
And run that beam that way. Everybody says, "Oh, you shouldn't do that." Like, why not?
Why?
You'll run the beam, and I can see. I'm not going to get the same clear image that I would down because everything's going to be a little bit off. But I done that down there in the spring at the knucklehead, and I was like, you know what? I just tilted it. It just popped in my head. Just tilt it, because I'd fished there before.
Yeah.
And knew I'd spook fish off of stuff, because I didn't see it. Tilt that thing, and then I was like, "Oh, yeah, there's some stumps out there, and look like probably a boulder."
Yep. Let me catch for it before I get there.
Exactly. Just put it in, kick the motor off, and just take the paddle and back pedal a little bit, and just sit there and start casting out there to it. 30 feet away.
Yeah.
Boom, catching fish.
That's it. That's all I want to do is I just want to be able to see, cover. Like I said, I don't know if I'll get. I don't think I'll be able to get. Look, I hope so. I hope my job goes crazy and I can make all the money in the world and I can. That's the beautiful thing about being a salesman and commission based.
Heck yeah.
Go with it.
Well, you just never know, and so keep the what I do is whatever goal I have, I just continue to speak it, bring it to life, manifest it into life.
Yeah, that's it. I've already started doing that. I just keep saying it. I keep saying one of my goals with my job. There's a number attached to it, so I'm not going to say that on here. But
no, but that's great. Stuff like that too. That's you have to keep that mindset. What do they say? Sit with millionaires and you'll become one. Sit with poor people, and that's what you're going to end up like. When you change your mindset and start looking at, you know, the blocks and limitations, and you change your mindset, it's huge.
Yep.
So
That's one of the
absolutely.
big things that's like they'll say that, you know, the biggest thing that like this year that fishing helped me with, like I was in a rough situation with my old job. You know, I just
Mm-hmm.
felt like, wouldn't say it was bad. It was more, I think it was more me than them. I just
Mm-hmm.
got stagnant, comfortable, complacent,
Yep.
if you want to call it. And you know, I went down to the knucklehead, um, got my mind right, sitting on the water. Like I said, sitting on the water for 2, 3 days straight, a good of a chunk of it alone, your wheels spin, you know, so you can't really control it. So you just start, you know, playing scenarios in your head. What if, what if, what if, what if? And it was good to have that. And I came back, and I think it got me here. So
Yeah.
fishing literally got me to this point where I'm at now. And, you know, it was just, I'm very thankful for it. And then one of the last thing I wanted to share, I know you said about an hour, but
You're right.
we keep talking about being outside and, you know, the therapy of the outdoors. I always just want to, I keep bringing it up, you know, with all the technology, social media, I love it. We're on it here right now. We wouldn't even be connected without it.
Right.
I just want everyone to always remember we are God's creation, and He put us here to be outdoors. When we were first started off, we were outdoors hunting, fishing, scavenging, you know, getting berries, you know, finding water. We were outdoors, you know, literally 96 to 98%. Like we went in a cave, we went in a hut for just to literally sleep. Your body gets that natural high off sunlight, fresh air. No matter who you are, it doesn't matter if you're an introvert, it doesn't matter if you're, no matter literally what doesn't matter. That's just nature, that's just science. There's nothing you can say or do that. When you go outside and you sit in the sun and you feel better, it's just, there's literally nothing you can do about that. So always remember, my dad always tells me, hey, make sure you take your walk. Go take a walk for 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Go walk around the block. Walk around your apartment complex, whatever. Or walk around your car. Take 3, 4 laps around your car. Breathe the fresh air. Feel the sun. Feel the rain. Feel the snow. It's all right. You'll warm up. You'll cool down in the next 10 minutes when you get inside. Just go feel it for a second. Take a second. Take a deep breath in it, and just feel the outdoors. At the end of the day, that reproduce and be outside is technically our key. So, yeah, you know, get your butt outdoors, you know,
Right.
get your butt outdoors, feel it, you know, not telling you to go sit on a piece of plastic for 8 hours like my crazy self and throw some more plastic into the lake. Go do that. But,
And spinner baits.
yeah. But,
Yeah, I'll have to start learning about all these. I can't even say the word. You guys laugh at me, but whatever.
yeah.
I need to learn about all these. See, I think my problem with fishing, you know, I do enjoy it, but I'm very impatient.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm used to throwing a heavy rod.
Yeah.
Because I'm used to catfishing. So when we go and I'm throwing this light thing, I'm chucking the sucker, and all of a sudden it's landing in the trees. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I was like, well, there goes that fishing lure, and that one and this one. Well, they just want a $30 one. No, not that expensive, thank God. But there goes a $12 one, and I'm like, oh, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah. You gotta go out and get on a bite where you're just whacking them one day.
And I will. I think I finally realized that, like when we went, so Caro came up and we all went fishing together, and it was then that I realized, I was like, you know what? I really need to like re-examine and refocus why I'm fishing. Am I really fishing to catch a fish, or am I really fishing for the benefits of fishing, like the mental health aspect of it?
Yeah.
And when I reevaluated things, it made sense to me. Like, you're not always going to catch a fish, Gina, but it's just the thought of being out there. I'm out there with Charles. My kids get out there.
Yep.
It's something that we enjoy. We both enjoy being outside. It's what he loves. And so I'll, you know, do it so I can spend time with him. And I do enjoy it. But it was funny because when we went fishing, we had fished for what, 2 hours or whatever. I didn't catch anything. I was so ticked. I'm like, I'm throwing this stupid rod in the water. I can't stand this. I'm going home. Like I was like a 2-year-old throwing a fit. So Sly says, give me your rod. It wasn't 30 seconds later, he caught a fish. I was like, I'm done. Don't even. I'm
Because
done.
he was saying, your fishing lure is what's the one's catching it, not mine. We're both throwing square bills. Okay. I was using the Munster Bass Dreamsicle.
Okay.
Alex Rudd.
Yeah, I got those. Those are nice.
I have one of them. And I'm like, you know what? I want to use it, just because I know where I was at. I wasn't worried about losing it or nothing, And so I was using it, and she had a KVD 1.5 square bill. I forget what the color was, but it was like a bait fish color, silver and stuff. And I wasn't fishing ahead of her. She was fishing ahead of me. I was coming behind her, and I'd cast behind myself and just kind of work around, then she'd end up moving up and I'd move up behind her, and I was catching fish. She wasn't. So she was complaining about it was my lure. I'm like, okay, give me yours. And she took mine. I took hers and I started catching fish on hers.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm done. But
Cheryl got mad at me too when she was down. They were coming back through here on their way home. I was the only one. I only caught one fish that day. We fished maybe hour and a half, and it was just terrible hot.
It was.
In the middle of the afternoon, bluebird skies.
Yeah. Just getting out to get out. I do it to myself too.
Just getting out, just chit chatting with Caro and Jay, and fishing,
And the biggest thing about that, I feel like obviously catching the big ones is memorable, or catching a lot of fish. You have those days. But when you really think about it, the things that you remember the most are not the fishing. Like my most memorable day, the thing that I remember the most was it was me and my dad, and it was the first day that I fished through the rain. That's what I remember the most. It's like we poured, and we were still catching them. That did help. It was Father's Day, but I just remember I'm like, that's the day that made me an angler. It was the day that it started to rain, and my dad was like, "Do you want to go sit in the car? I'm gonna stay out." And I was just like,
if Dad's sitting, you're sitting, huh?
I'm staying with you. And he was like, all right, let's go. And we stayed out, and we kept catching them. But it was like, it was more about I remember us laughing and joking over a Big Mac after, that was my thing. I wanted to go to McDonald's, and I was allowed to go, I felt like a little big man because I got a meal. I got a number one. I didn't get a kid's meal. I was like, yeah, I'll take a number two.
Moving on up.
Cheese,
moving on up, like George and Wheezy. Is that who it is?
Yep, the Jeffersons.
I don't even want to get us going on that, but that was back when freaking a McDonald's combo was $8. $7-8. Now you go to Wendy's and I feel like I'm spending money on gourmet. It's crazy.
Oh, it's nuts.
Hey, Jermaine, you want to even get even worse than that? I am old enough to remember when a Big Mac combo with a large soda and the biggie fries, which is way bigger than the large fries now, was $1.99.
Wow.
It's nuts.
Oh, it is nuts. It's like, oh my
I've seen it come from $1.99 to $11 now.
I'm pretty sure a Baconator at the Wendy's right by me is like $14.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Baconator combo. They don't even put they have different, and this is terrible. If you go to Wendy's.com or you go to BurgerKing.com or McDonald's.com, they don't put the pricing. Because where you are, they charge one price.
Yep.
Then you come up to Northeast. Oh, Jermaine's 20 minutes from Manhattan. Oh, we're going to bang you over the head because you live close to New York City. And that's
crazy.
It's crazy. This whole area is just.
Yeah, I think a Baconator combo around here is like $11.99.
Yeah, it's definitely like 14, 15.
Still, that's crazy. Wow.
That's still crazy though. You know what I mean? It's because I just think that it's so nuts now because why would you go get fast food? You might as well just drive to Five Guys.
Mm-hmm.
Drive to your local burger joint and say, hey, or go to the diner and be like, yo, let me get a burger and fries. And they're gonna be like, all right, no problem, $15. And you're gonna be like, all right, well, it's a real burger. Might not now. I'm not saying it's Wagyu, but
Right. Right.
it's real burger. Like I love Wendy's. Oh, never frozen. Blah blah blah. It's still some foo lame meat. Like you know what I mean? It's not like a real burger.
Yes.
So it's the world is just changing. That, like I said, we can go on and on and on.
Oh, we could. Oh, I know. We don't get to eat out much when there's 5 of us, and so it's expensive. Ooh.
Yeah.
We don't even want to go there either.
If we can go to a Mexican restaurant. We got some real good Mexican restaurants around here, and you go there and it's like $200.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I make my own hibachi, and I mean, I know that's not Mexican, but hibachi.
I cook myself. Like I said earlier, I get on Instagram or something like that, or YouTube, and I'll just search the recipe.
Yep.
I enjoy cooking. I love cooking. I'm good at it. That's another thing. I guess. Okay, there you go. There's something else I do for my therapy over the winter.
Cooking.
I'll cook meals. Yeah, I'll cook a lot.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like my cooking too.
Yeah, I always say if I had a nicer kitchen setup, in my kitchen, which one day, matter of fact, yesterday, I sat down and drew house plans. They weren't the greatest, but I was like, I really like this house. It was something that I was thinking about. I drew them. But anyway, I like cooking. And I was like, same thing. I was like, if I had a nice kitchen, I would actually like record myself cooking. I like cooking on an open fire outside.
Yeah.
And things like that too. I swear I was a pioneer back in the day, or my ancestors were pioneers back in the day. I love cooking over an open fire.
Don't
Nothing
let the kitchen can slow you up. People like to see the glow up. It's almost better. I actually got a nice message this week, and I got a nice box. I'll share that tomorrow. But good guy hit me up, and he was like, "Hey, look, it's nice to see your glow up. They like to see, they like to see you go from your little greasy little stove to, hey, now I can afford the nice stainless steel joint with the nice gas burners on it. It's crazy, but people love to see that stuff.
No, they will. Yep. Well, yeah. I'm trying to work on like StreamYard. That's one of my goals. StreamYard. I want to be able to afford it so I can customize it myself. And
yeah,
I'm like, eventually, it's fine. I will get there. So
yeah,
and things like that too. So
honestly, I was paying for it and I stopped.
Yeah.
It's all these
just crazy.
catch up to you. They catch up to you, man.
They do. And I had to. I'm like, you never know. So
question. How much are they charging you for StreamYard Premium for your because I had somebody else tell me that they were charging differently per area.
So mine's just the free one.
Yeah.
But when I
to try to like look at how much it costs, because I know mine is $18.99.
How much is yours?
$18.99 a month.
Okay, so for me, if I paid it in full for the year, it was $22.99 a month. If I paid it in full for the year, I don't know if that was the second one up. Maybe the business, not the pro. Maybe it was the business. It was the middle one.
I just did the one up, and mine, that one was, I think it was $18.99. I was looking.
Okay. So what? Okay. So yep. So when I was, if you paid it in full for the year, it was $22.99 a month. Mm-hmm. If you paid it monthly, it was $44.99 a month. The third tier, I think, was $89.99 a month. But if you paid it in full for the year, it was like $75 or $60.
Oh no, I think they are whacking me. Individuals, build. Yeah.
So so they have monthly and then they have yearly. And I was going to do their Cyber Monday.
Yeah.
Because it was 50% off, but I was like, with Christmas coming, and then
exactly. Like we got
that lovely deer decided to whack out, half the truck.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. I don't know if I'm going to do that because I saw something that said $18.99 a month, and I was like, okay, I guess, but I'm not. I mean, respectfully, I'm not paying $35 a month.
No. I wish. Like I like StreamYard. I like Zoom, but Zoom you can't customize. I haven't been. I'm still learning because I can stream through YouTube and my Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
by just using Zoom.
Okay. So there's
So
another streaming service. I got to get the name of it and I'll send it to you. But let me see if I can. Mike from Binya Outdoors. Just messing with it. It might be cheaper, but I don't know. I'm definitely looking into different options. EVMUX. I don't even know how to say that.
EVMUX.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
a
you'll
weird one.
have to let me know, because that's what I'd like. I like to be able to customize,
Yeah.
with my logo and all that stuff, and customize them and things like that. But I'm like, man, like if I was making money off doing these, which that's not my intention by any means, but then I'd be like, hey, okay, but I keep saying I'm going to be a millionaire one of these days.
Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, you got to have multiple streams.
You do. And it was interesting because I've had my YouTube channel since 20, I believe. And like, I didn't get on there. I was like, I don't like doing these lives. I'm too much of a perfectionist, which is another trauma response. And I was like, there's no way. It takes me 4 or 5 hours to record a video and edit and forget it. And it was interesting when I started doing the non-clinical art therapy that I'm doing now. When I was like, I want to get out there and start getting more clients. And I was like, and literally in it, it was like, you need to have more, didn't say social media, but it's like, you need to have more presence. How can people find you if they don't know who you are? And I was like, oh, really? And so like my voice is better because I haven't recorded in a few days, but it's like every day for like the last 3 weeks, I was recording every day. I'm doing skits. I do a mental health conference. It's coming up in May. And so I'm doing these little skits. I'm editing. So now I'm like a pro at editing and adding all these effects. I'm like, damn, now I'm getting this stuff under control now.
She loves editing and I hate it.
Oh, I'm like, I love this.
It happens quick. You catch yourself and you're like, oh, wow, I know how to I even did the same thing. I'm editing up a video and I put little transitions in it now. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's actually pretty cool. That actually looks kind of legit,
Yep. What program do you use for editing?
His phone.
Yeah, that's all.
His Apple phone.
Oh, well, I use my phone some of the time too. I use CapCut.
I use VN. So I use VN for my videos.
Okay.
And then I have CapCut. No, I just use VN. I use VN for my videos and Canva for my thumbnails.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I like Canva. That's what I use too. I do a lot of stuff in Canva, but I like adding the effects and stuff to it. And so, so it was just interesting when I did these drawings and stuff, and that's what it started telling me, that social media. So now I'm like, oh, brother. People like, hey, I seen your reel and I seen this and that. And I was like, yep, not by choice. I guess the universe told me if I wanted more clients, then I needed to get out there and be seen. So here I am.
That's it. And with the beauty about social media is, you never know when
you don't.
This stupid video is going to go, and the next thing you know.
Yep. Well, I get these ideas. Yeah. Because see, like I said, go ahead. Sorry.
I saw this grandpa. I forgot. I followed him. And long story short, he was fishing, older dude, very generic videos. I wouldn't say anything that was like, oh, wow. He just sharing his experience. He like fell off of something and like hurt himself pretty bad. And then like something happened and somebody with like 50,000 subscribers found him and was like, hey, he deserves to be followed. Go follow him. And made like a little montage of his page, put it on TikTok. That blew up and and now the guy's got like 1 million followers. He woke up, he literally put a video, and in the video, he's like, in this video, I went from 700,000 subscribers to 800,000 subscribers. Like he hit refresh like in it, and he's like, thank you to whoever put out that video. It's like crazy.
Wow, wouldn't that be nice, huh?
It's like,
wow.
He's just literally just a regular dude. And
that is cool.
It's just that's just kind of how it happened. I don't even know.
I love it. I love it. And I love doing this. I love, having, like I said, different guests and stuff on and sharing a little bit of, their backstory and the things that help them, because it's about walking away with tools and resources that will help you on your healing journey and, your mental health. And we're on this journey together. And so what better way than to share tips and tricks and whatever else and whatever. So, that's the way I look at it. So I know I keep saying I got to learn a little bit more with this fishing stuff. I don't know my head from a hole in the wall when it comes to any of this stuff.
Keep hanging out with us, That's
Oh, I do. I learn a lot, but
so
it goes like
Tina, the biggest person I could tell you to learn from, and I want to give a big shout out. I hope she watches this and watches it back.
Oh, you'll say, yeah. I was going to say him. Well, yeah, him and I.
Carol. And I told her we went down to the Knucklehead, and my team was kind of put together last minute. And what I told Carol, and I gave her like a nice pep talk on the side, and was like, look, me and you are kind of the same. She's in Arkansas, and she's not around the best waters. I'm in New York. I'm in New York or New Jersey, and I'm not around the best waters. I do catch some good fish, but like I'm a northern guy. I get smallies. I can go. I know where to go get 19, 20, 22 inch, 23 inch smallies. That's my like. Ooh, wow. But like my bass, my largemouth bass, they're probably going to top out around 5, maybe 6. I know I caught an 8-pounder, but that's like super rare, super rare around here. So like. The biggest thing I told her is like, number one, don't get lost in what everyone else is doing. Number two, the same thing like you said about the millionaire. Just stick around anglers, stick in the chats, like you're doing now. Just listen, absorb as much of it as you can. And then when it comes to be your time to shine on a big body of water with those quality of fish, you're going to be surprised at the results that you have. Look at Carol. She did not go. I'm trying to give her some credit here, and she's not even going to be mad at me for this. She didn't go further than like 200 yards from the boat ramp. She said, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Oh, wow.
You guys, go ahead, do your thing. I don't got it like that. I'm not going. I'm good. I'll figure it out right here. We said, all right, no doubt. Went and did our thing, and sure enough, who caught the biggest fish on the team? Doing what she does, doing what she's comfortable with. And we get back, everyone's like, Carol caught 20 and a half. Carol caught 20. Like, always remember, when you get your time to shine and be on that body of water and be around those quality of fish, now that's your time. Now you got a chance to, because at the end of the day, like everybody, those lakes you might be fishing, nothing against you. I'm not talking bad about your body's water. You haven't had a marine biologist come out there. You don't know if that your lake might suck. That lake might suck. It literally might be terrible. There might be stunted bass in there. There might not be enough fish in there. And you're literally fishing that lake all the time going, dang, why am I not catching anything? Even if Sly is killing them. Even if he is, there literally might not be enough fish in that lake to go around. So you always got to keep that in the back of your mind when you're paying attention to all these videos and you're doing everything that you see these guys doing. Like, I do the same thing with tactical bassing.
Okay.
Oh, this dude's out here. Every freaking video he's catching them. Like they just run to one spot, run to this spot, run to that. But then I sit back and I think about it and I'm like, all right, Jermaine, well, he's on $100,000 boat. He might not be using it, but he's got live scope, side, 360 down, so he's got the tools that he needs. He's been fishing 20 years longer than you, If I continue to fish, even if I don't continue YouTube, in 20 years from now, if I continue to fish at this level, oh my God, I'm gonna be stupid. So it's like sometimes you got to just dial it back a little bit, understand the situation you're in, and just be like, okay, when I get down to a Gunnersville, if I get in the right spot and I get around some fish, I'll be all right. I know I might not be doing that well at my home lake, but when I get to a world-class fishery, I should be just fine.
Thank you for that.
Of course.
I appreciate that. Yeah, sometimes I do get down on myself and I'm like, yeah, well, like I said, and then I'm like, not catching anything. But after I reevaluated and kind of realized, oh, well, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Is it really about catching fish? Yes, that is the bonus.
Hmm.
But you got to look at the whole picture of what are the benefits of fishing.
That's it.
And that's, yeah, well, it is. And that's what I mean. Like, that's what we taled about in the beginning.
Stability.
I really wasn't thinking about that when we were fishing and I was getting irritated. I was like, I just want to catch a stupid fish.
Hmm.
Well, then I was irritated and I was like, forget it. I'm giving up because I'm not catching a fish until I realized, oh yeah, it's not even about that anymore. I had an aha moment. So
Yeah.
I threw my 2-year-old fit and I was done. Now I'm like, oh, I had an aha moment.
That's all right, as long as you learn from it.
So yep, I appreciate that. So you're going to the Knucklehead in the spring
Or the NC.
or whatever it's called.
As long as everything goes well, you know. So like I
Right.
think it is a sales position job. So my trial period, I think it goes until like mid-March. So as long as I don't like
Okay.
fall flat on my face, which I don't see myself doing, then
Yep.
I should be good to go.
Good for you.
Yeah.
So are you, not that this has anything to do with our live, but are you just licensed in your state or can you do
No,
life insurance and all that everywhere?
I'm gonna work on that.
Okay.
Work on that because of essentially the fishing fam. So
Yeah.
that'd be cool if I could help you guys out, help everybody out. That would be really, really dope. That's honestly, that's why I chose the line of business that I'm in now, is because you know, everybody needs health insurance.
Oh, they do.
So
Yeah.
I mean,
Insurance, life insurance. Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
we work with a specific age group, 65 and up. So it's like, you know, you help them with their Medicare, Medicaid, and all that good stuff. And it's like, it's truly a help, you know. So that's why I like
Good.
doing it. But the guy, one of my trainer, he was like, yeah, I have a license in 12 states. And I was like,
Oh,
oh, I
wow.
didn't know you could do that. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, I could rattle off a few names. I think they're like not throwing anybody under the bus, but people that are getting ready to retire or getting close to
Yep.
65. So I was like, I
Yep.
think I know a couple people that are getting into that wheelhouse. So I might be able to, you know, leverage one business to another, you know. So I did mention it, but I'm gonna get New York right away. Be the first one I get because I got a lot of people in New York. Live 10 minutes away from New York. But then after that, we'll see. You know, if somebody, look, at the end of the day, if somebody from the fishing fam reaches out to me,
Mm-hmm.
we would like your help. We trust you more than the average Joe. I'll go pay the fee for the license and just, you know, that'd be my pleasure. You know, to be able to help.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. And it's better when you go with somebody that you know than, you know, instead of some schmuck Joe
Yeah,
will go down the road and, you know, screw you over and
exactly.
whatever.
And at the end of the day, like, no, you know, guys don't personally know me, but you kind of know what you got with me already. You know,
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
kind of know what it is. I mean,
Yep.
Sly, you met me in person. You,
Oh, yeah.
you can clearly, you can literally stand there and say, what you see is what you get.
Exactly.
Change.
Just a little bit more wilder in person.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A little bit more wild.
He's trying to be nice.
A little more reserved on the
That's
YouTube.
it. You know, just a little bit. You know.
Yeah, we had a good time down there.
I'm glad. Well, one of these days I'll get down
Jeez,
there.
how long did we stand out there by the fire and talk, Jermaine? What, 3 hours or so?
I mean, there was one point. Me and you, the group called us back. You went to show me a lure, and we ended up by your truck for like an hour and a half. And everybody, where's Sly and Jermaine? Oh, we're over here just chatting. They're like, you guys want to come back over? Oh, my bad.
Exactly.
Meeting each other officially. And it turned into an hour and a half. But yeah, we were. I think that was the craziest trip in terms of like sleep, because I drove 15 hours down, met all you guys, stayed up till like 1 o'clock, and then we got up at what, 5:30 to go drive.
Holy mackerel.
Your spots.
Oh, wow.
Stayed up until 12:30, 1 the next night, talking again, and then we woke up at 5 again to go fish the actual tournament. Crazy.
Oh, wow. Yep. See,
Sly, you got to get in this year, though.
I'll see.
You
It just
gotta-
my boy's got football.
Yeah.
He'll be in football again. So
So what I'm gonna give you a little secret. I don't know. I know some people they've hinted at it.
Block your ears, everybody. No.
Just Sly, just fish for a specific team. You'll get there. They're doing a little something different this year. As from what I was told is I don't know if I'm supposed to say anything, but they're gonna do a wild card event. So and I think they're bumping up the number of people on each team. And then you're gonna get to do like 2 honorary members. So if you see
Nice.
somebody like fishing from your team and they come in third, so I think they're gonna do 1 and 2 from each month. So I think that, and then they're gonna do 2 honorary members. So like you see, like say you come in third 4 months in a row, the team captain can say, "Hey, he did his thing. Come fish for me."
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I saw that and I was like, okay, Chad's doing some things. He's switching it up, He's getting feedback, and I like the 2-day event thing because that was like I keep saying it. That was my biggest complaint about year 1 was we went down, came right back. Like it felt like this, like I didn't have it like that to go down there for 4 or 5 days and pre-fish and do all that. I got down there, pre-fished the day before the tournament, went to fish the next day, and then we woke up the next morning and hauled ass out of there. So
That's quick.
Yeah, it was crazy. And they were for 15-hour drives.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, holy mackerel, no way.
From New York. And I think, and honestly, last year was crazier because we picked up Chaz. So I think it was like,
you guys get grabbed him.
Because like where he is in Pennsylvania, we had to come straight up and then go over. Like we didn't do the like slight curve that we would regularly do and just go straight back to New York, New Jersey. We had to go straight up. And then he was like 3.5 hours for me. So we drove 15 hours straight up to him. And then we got to his house and we were like, all right, now we still got 3.5 hours left to get back to our house.
Oh, shoot.
So
that makes it so long. No.
It was tough.
Like
tough.
the NC this year, when I was coming back from the NC, I got caught in behind accidents. And it was like, wow. It took me like 13 hours to do an 8.5 hour drive.
If I was alone,
that was rough.
It was. It is. So, all right. Well, it's been an hour and a half. It's been a pleasure. Talked about mental health, fishing, hunting, your truck, everything else going on. Good.
Bouncing deer.
Yep.
That's it.
So, it always is. I like it.
I appreciate the openness. I appreciate you hearing me. It's
absolutely. You're more than welcome. I love it. Like I said, I love hearing different viewpoints and then having men, because it's hard to have them come on and just share even just to share a small tidbit and then go on. I get it, and so I appreciate you coming on and things like that too. So, and then
thing before we go too, just for all the men out there, don't be afraid to talk about your problems.
Exactly.
You don't need to be hard. You don't need to be tough. You just need to be real. There's nothing wrong. Not telling you go tell everyone, go talk to your significant other, go talk to one of your boys. Tell your boys you love them. There's nothing wrong with that. There's no iffiness. It's not sus. I won't say it. I think you guys know what I'm thinking about, but there's nothing wrong with that. I tell my boys all the time when I hang up the phone, love you, bro.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with that. Say it. You love somebody, say it,
Yep.
Feel your emotions, talk to people, cry if you need to. My line's open. Hit me on Instagram. I'll share my phone number with anybody that needs to chat. I don't mind. I'm here.
I love
Might
that.
take me a second to get back to you, but I'll answer. I got you.
You're a good man. A good man.
That's all I got. That's literally all I got.
Well, that's good. Well, that's what I tell them too. I'm like, if you need anything, you're not on this journey alone. You know, there's people you can reach out to and stuff like that. So, you know, it's good that you're one of them. I'm one of them, and I'm sure there's other people, obviously, and Sly, whoever else. But you know, when you struggle, you don't have to walk alone. That's what I think so many people don't understand is that, you know, it's the stigma. You know what? That's a whole nother episode on things, but it's the stigma of things, and of course, growing up and things like that too. But I always say it's not weak to speak, and you know, now that you're older, you have a voice and choice, and you know, and you know, and get in that safety and use it. Use your voice and choice to get yourself better.
That's it.
So I appreciate you being on here. Tomorrow is your live, correct?
Yes. Tomorrow I'm going up. I got to get all my stuff set up and posted and all that good stuff. But I'll do that.
Okay. What time? 9, 8:30?
9:35-ish.
9:35. I keep forgetting you're late too. You're later.
9:40, 9:40 or 5.
Yeah, somewhere around there, you'll see my mug pop up.
Yep, that's good. Well, we'll be on there. I appreciate you. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Next Monday, we'll be here live again. I don't know what topic, but I'm just going to continue to do more positive things gearing up towards Christmas and the holidays into the new year. The holidays are just a really hard time for a lot of people. And so, you know, we'll still talk about mental health and things like that, but it'll be more, you know, more positive topics like we have been talking about for the last couple of weeks. So next Monday, we'll be here 8 p.m. Eastern. I'd like to see you all. Jermaine, thank you so much for being here. Sly Fox, thank you for being here. Michael, Scott, everybody else that was in the chat. We appreciate each and every one of you. And we will see you again soon.
Yes.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.